if you're here in the UK, it's getting to that time of year, isn't it, where winter's about to really kick in, gales and snows on the way, and wind and rain and so on. So basically you need to start getting your allotments up to scratch and ready to cope for winter. So I came up the other day. I've got quite a lot of grass that needs trimming. I've got some lovely red cabbages which we're going to pick, some leeks to harvest, and also the dahlias to dig up and get stored away for winter, because they will obviously die if they get too frosted. So anyway, I'll see you over the allotment. It's pretty grey today, but I'm looking forward to it. It's really quite chilly today, but nevertheless, I think as soon as I get moving it'll warm up. But as you can see, the grass is all kind of rather long and there's loads of weeds everywhere, but I'll show you that in a minute. Right, I think we'll just put this up by the shed. Oh golly, everything's looking slightly neglected. Anyway, let me just show you how it's all looking. Right, it's all looking, as I said, a little bit of a mess at the minute, but you can see we've got down here we've got a cauliflower coming. Got to have that out and check the others, and good thing to do at this time of year is to tie the leaves up over the top to help protect them. I've got some lovely red cabbages. You can see actually the canes have broken off in the winds we had, so I've got to tie all them back up. I've got more red cabbages here and things to mend, loads of weeding to do. It's quite extraordinary how the weather has taken a toll on everything, and all the plants and the weeds have just romped away. Just take this bed for example, look at this, extraordinary. Can't really believe how many weeds that's got in. But anyway, we've also got some lovely kale here, Cavolo Nero kale and Black Magic kale. Going to have some of that out. Got to tidy all the dead leaves away. What that does is make sure it prevents a lot of snails and slugs hibernating in there, and also prevents a lot of moulds and things, so it's good to keep them tidied up. Then what have we got over here? Let's have a look. Oh, leeks. Yeah, I've got some leeks. Got this bed to clean as well. Look at the water tank. Look how much we've got here. Oh, wind's taking its toll on that, so I need to fix that. I was thinking I'd take the plastic chute down, because basically the water tank's absolutely full up now. Can't get any more in it. Oh, that one. So I need another water tank, or I'll disconnect it. There's no point having it up, so I'll put that away and help protect it for the rest of winter. So that's that. I've got lots of grass to trim as well, but look at the shed. Look at that, how the paint is all coming off. That's just this year. It was all fine at the beginning of the year, and that's all coming off. So that's another job later in the year if the weather is warm for a few days. And then the dahlias here haven't succumbed to frost yet, but they will. So I want to prune all these back and get these dug out this morning, and then hopefully everything will be ready for winter. Right, let's get on with some work, shall we? Right, got my handy secateurs. It is, as you probably know, well worth cutting back your dahlias and saving the tubers, putting them somewhere dry. So all I'm doing is leaving about 4 or 5 inches of stem on the top of the dahlias. So I've pruned everything else off, and this is quite good because it enables you to stick a label around them so you don't forget what is what. So all I'm doing is getting in and taking off the top bits, put them over there, and all these will go on the compost, all these bits. But once you've pruned them back, it's always a good idea to put them upside down for a bit to let all the moisture drain out of the stems here, and then you put them back up the right way before you store them, because if you don't do that, what happens is, because all your stems are pointing down, next year when they start to shoot in storage, which they probably will, all the stems, the new shoots come out, will start growing up the wrong way. So you want to make sure that you turn your tubers to face up the right way, so that when they shoot, the shoots are going upwards. Anyway, I shall get on and prune the rest of these, and then get back to you when we're done. that's got most of the plants trimmed back that I want to trim back. But I've got some weeding in here to do, but first thing really is to get these dahlias out of the ground and ready to take home. Right, I'll just go and put this up on the compost. I'll be back in a minute. Let's get these lifted. Got to be careful not to spear the tubers, obviously, but I'm just going to get the fork underneath, lift them gently and see what we bring up. Give it a shake. You want to try and get as much of the soil off as possible. You can see quite congested set of roots here, so all the tubers in the bottom there. So this is what we're aiming to keep, and this one does have a label, Penhill Dark Monarch. Yeah, so I shall give these a bit of more of a clean off when I get home, some water, put them like that to dry out for a couple of weeks, turn them back up, and then yeah, store them over winter somewhere dry. I mean, you can do it, and frost free. You can do it in a garage, I suppose. A greenhouse probably might get too cold. Shed might be okay if it's big enough, but yeah, you just need to make sure you keep them frost free. So let's put that one down there. If any of the tubers fall off, they're not worth keeping, so just pop them in the compost and they'll rot down. That's that bed cleared out, which is good. Got all the dahlias up and all tidied up and weeded, so that's all good. And this is what we've got. They get really big, don't they? Look at them. So I might have to try splitting some of these next year, but there's a mixture in here. Like this one is Penhill Dark Monarch, Apache, mainly all Penhill Dark Monarch, apart from I think one Blackjack, which is really good. Really like those, like a really chocolate maroony dark red. Why? I love leeks. Do you like leeks? Really love leeks. Anyway, I'm just going to pick a couple of the biggest, just gently loosen them, pull them out. They're looking quite nice, aren't they? Good length on them. No leaf minor, which is great. I'll just peel off the outer leaves. Yeah, don't want to do it too much. I've got muddy gloves on, but yeah, quite good, don't they? Take too much soil home, and yeah, I'll cut the roots off in a minute, and the rest of it, it'll all come off, and then we'll well, take it off like that, put it in the compost. Right, I'm really pleased with how these netting beds have worked this year, and they really have kept all the pigeons off and all the butterflies. I have no problems with butterflies at all this year. Take some of the tender leaves from the top, just break them off. That's probably all right for now. I'll just give the bed a quick tidy up. I'll just put this by the shed. As I say, it's really important to make sure that you clean up around your brassicas and other plants that are beginning to drop leaves. So a lot of these could harbour slugs and snails, things like that. So, and also mildews and all sorts of moulds. So it's best to get them all up off the ground and as clean as possible. The other reason obviously is a lot less wind resistance, which is in the winter kind of good, helps prevent the plants from rocking about. You can see there's a lot of dead leaves on here going yellow, so all these got to come off. And all that obviously will go in the compost. Right, let's go and get one of these red cabbages, shall we? I wasn't sure how well they were going to do, never grown them before, but they seem to have done well. So I'm going to, I think we'll have this one out here. Get this cabbage out and then clean this whole bed up. I'm just going to cut it off at the base. Look at that. Yeah, never grown them before. So take all these outer leaves off. Again, I need to do that around the rest of the plants here on the bed, because you find great big critters in there. Look at that caterpillar. Right, deal with him in a minute. Yeah, look at that. That's the biggest cabbage I've ever grown. Yeah, amazing. It's like a great big lolly stick. Anyway, let's cut the stalk off. Yeah, perfect. Wouldn't go amiss in a supermarket, would it? Now is the time of year to get down on the allotment and get the last sort of bits done, ready for winter. It's really not worth leaving it until spring, because you'll come back to complete chaos. You'll come back to just weeds everywhere, and you'll be, yeah, it's quite disheartening. You come back to an allotment which requires you almost starting all over again. So I think little and often is best. One, two, three, four, five, 6 cabbages left in that bed, all weeded, all fixed up, ready for the winter. So really pleased about that. And the basket, actually had to harvest a couple of others, so the harvest basket's not looking too bad at the minute. Kale, 3 lovely red cabbages, sort of a smaller one here, but it'll be yummy, and 2 leeks. So what I was going to do now is get the fork, wherever that is, and head down and go and get some parsnip. That's a little bit better. I'll bring them over and show you in a minute. Right, there's these, quite small, aren't they? So these are probably the largest, which are pretty abysmal. I mean, normally I'll grow them about a foot long. Anyway, they'll be edible, but it's not quite as big as I'd hoped. They're a bit better. They're not so bad. They smell really of parsnip there. Amazing smell. Right, not a huge haul of parsnip. Pretty abysmal, some of them, considering. I think I didn't thin them out quick enough, so it's probably the issue. But I think there's probably a couple of, maybe 1 meal there. maybe 2 meals, who knows. Just going to grab one of the cauliflowers then, and then I think I'm almost done. I've tied all the cauliflowers up, so they're all sort of protected now, and I've harvested one, which was okay, but actually pretty manky. So we'll go and have a quick look at the harvest basket, shall we? Because I think that's more or less me done for today. So we have lots of parsnips, they're lovely. 3 lovely red cabbage, as I say, a slightly manky looking cauliflower, might scrub up okay. 2 lovely leeks and some lovely kale. So really pleased with that lot. But yeah, I think I'm sort of done up here for today. I've got strimming to do, but I don't want to bore you with strimming the grass. That's just too dull, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. As always, if you got something from the video, do consider liking, subscribing and hitting the bell notification button so that YouTube can send you notifications when the next video comes out, which will hopefully be a bit more often now. Just been crazy at work. Anyway, hope you have a great week, and don't get snowed in if you're up north in Scotland. Wrap up warm. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.